enter into worship with the words of Leah Ongiri. Here we are together, each facing our different human tasks, or maybe the same central one, to embrace the lessons life delivers, to discern and respond as we grow, to refuse harm and cherish flourishing. May we know ourselves as vessels of infinite possibility, holders of each other's heartaches and tales of joy alike, weavers of one story in which we each have our part. Come, let us worship together. I invite you to rise in body or spirit to join our voices in our opening hymn 1000 in the Teal hymnal, Morning Has Come. Please remain standing as Aaron Eldonary lights our chalice with words by Reverend Scott Taylor. We light this chalice in honor of first steps, for beginning even when the path ahead is unclear, for the courage it takes to trust that the way will reveal itself, that light will come to clarify our vision, that friends will be by our side. May the words, song, stillness, and common breath of this hour remind us that every step of the way is never one we take alone.
Come all that will be
story for all ages. I invite you to gather around while we read this book, Everything Changes, and That's Okay, by Carol Dodd, illustrated by Aaron Hubricks. Rain falls from clouds in the sky. The sun appears, making everything dry. Raindrops caught in a sunny beam. A rainbow shimmers like in a dream. The moon is full, but then it's gone, chased away by the dawn. Stars that shine all through the night disappear in morning's light. Everything changes night to day. Everything changes, and that's okay. We eat an apple, then plant the seeds. Water carefully, pull up the weeds. A tree grows tall and strong. Shiny new apples appear before long. A yellow dandelion flower slowly withers, hour by hour, becoming fluffy seeds of white, finally floating out of sight. Everything changes day to night. Everything changes, and that's all right.
Seeds make more.
Yes.
When we grow them, when they land.
They do. They do. They grow, so that's a change too, isn't it? It starts all over. A kitten who loves to chase and scrounge becomes a cat who lives to lounge. A puppy who only wants to play grows into a dog who sleeps all day. Some very old kitties in our family. We read a book and turn each page, learn more each day as we age. Black hair slowly turns to gray. Wrinkles come that won't go away. Everything changes, this is true. Everything changes, even you and you. And you and you. That's true. That's true. A new school might feel real strange. Friendships sometimes rearrange. Your best friend may move away, but new friends will come to stay. You build a sandcastle all day, then a wave washes it away. Your favorite game becomes a bore. You don't want to play it anymore. Everything changes. It's the natural way. Everything changes, and that's okay. You might feel sad for quite a while. Then something happens to make you smile. You feel embarrassed and close your eyes. But then confidence returns, a nice surprise. Morning comes with a yellow sun. The hours pass and the day is done. Everything changes day to night. Everything changes, and that's all right. Stars shine brightly, sharp and clear, then fade away when morning is near. Everything changes, night to day.
3 quarters and a baby quarter.
Everything changes, and that's okay.
And the baby polar bear is so cute.
It is so cute, and it's going to grow up and become a big polar bear.
Yeah.
And then have more babies. All right, well, thanks for listening to this story. I had fun reading with this with you? Nature is so pretty. Do you want to take this book with you and just look at it a little bit?
You could take it?
Well, not to keep, because I do have to take it back to the library.
Yeah. Okay.
But maybe at coffee hour you can have it. So we will now sing the children to go to their religious education classes downstairs. Please remain seated for our prayer hymn, number 128, in the gray hymnal, For All That Is Our Life. In the silence that follows the spoken prayer, you are invited to come forward and light a candle for any joys or concerns you hold in your heart this morning. And everything does change. And this morning I lift up a prayer for our beloved cat Fluffernutter, who some of you may remember from Zoom worship. At the age of 17, after an extended illness, Fluffernutter passed peacefully last Sunday. May Fluffernutter and those who loved her find peace. Let us enter into prayer with the words of Maureen Kelleran. Blessed is this ground on which we stand. Holy is this place. Holy are the places of memory the places which have formed us, where we store the icons of success and shattered dreams, and gather threads and pieces of what we would become. Holy are the places of memory. Holy are the places of the dream, the places over the rainbow, where all children are wanted and all people are fed, where colors are the source of celebration, and youth and age come to the table as one. Holy are the places of the dream. Holy are the places of change and pain, the places of our struggle, where the rivers of our lives run white and fast, and we hold on and grow. Holy are the places of change and pain. Holy are the places of connection, the places where we risk ourselves, where hands, touch souls, touch minds. And in awareness still, we change our lives. Holy are the places of connection. Holy are the places of becoming, the places of clear vision where life and world are intertwined, and we can see forever in this moment and give thanks. Holy are the places of becoming. Blessed is the ground on which we stand. Holy and whole-making is this place. May it be so, and amen. I light a candle for the joys and concerns of those beloveds joining us virtually for worship, and I light a candle for all else that we hold in our hearts and our minds this morning. If your heart is hurting, know that your community is here to help. Please reach out with any needs. As we prepare for our offering, hear the words of Fred L. Hammond. What gifts shall we bring to share our love for one another? Shall we bring food for the table? Shall we bring our voice to affirm those who through years of oppression are claiming their voice again? Shall we bring our hands to hold one another close to our hearts? Shall we bring our tears to weep with those in pain? Shall we bring our laughter to lift hearts with courage in the face of fear? Shall we bring our song to inspire hope? Shall we bring our tithes to build a place where beloved community can thrive? Whatever gifts we bring, may they be centered in love for everyone traveling these paths of uncertainty. May our gifts be given with generous open hearts and received with the fullness of love. For those of you worshiping online, you may contribute to a virtual offering plate using the donate button on our website or by mailing a check to the church office. I invite the ushers forward to receive the offering. For all that you give and all that you do for our church and its wider concerns, we give thanks. So it says in my script, Cindy Williams is here to introduce this month's special collection. But Cindy Williams is not here. And I believe this is one where we'll be planning ahead to prepare to collect items for the school backpacks. So we'll just coordinate with Cindy to have her come in and make that announcement in another service. Hear the words of Jim Marsden. As we heed the call, we step over the threshold, marking our journey into the unknown. This threshold is both a movement into mystery and the movement of leaving home. As we descend into our new and unknown futures, we have the opportunity to let go of all that is not vital. We are in a time of shedding, ending, and clearing away that which has been of service somehow in our lives, but is no longer of use. For a New Beginning by John O'Donohue. In the out-of-the-way places of the heart, where your thoughts never think to wander, this beginning has been quietly forming, waiting until you were ready to emerge. For a long time it has watched your desire, feeling the emptiness growing inside you, noticing how you willed yourself on, still unable to leave what you had outgrown. It watched you play with the seduction of safety and the gray promises that sameness whispered, heard the waves of turmoil rise and relent, wondered, would you always live like this? Then the delight when your courage kindled, and out you stepped onto new ground, your eyes young again with energy and dream, a path of plenitude opening before you. Though your destination is not yet clear, you can trust the promise of this opening. Unfurl yourself into the grace of beginning that is at one with your life's desire. Awaken your spirit to adventure. Hold nothing back. Learn to find ease in risk. Soon you will home in a new rhythm, for your soul senses the world that awaits you. I invite you to rise in body or spirit to join our voices in hymn 295 in the gray hymnal, Sing Out Praises for the Journey. New beginnings, going through different phases of life, having nostalgia for the old days and how to stay focused on the present and enjoy where you're currently at. That's the topic posed by the top bidder of my auction sermon, and full disclosure, my son, Aaron. What stirs in us spiritually as we face changes in our lives? Whether clinging to the past, living in the present, or forging into the future, today we'll strive to unearth some nuggets of spiritual wisdom found in life's transitions. Although humans are complex creatures, theories of developmental psychology can shine some light on how we move through different life goals at different times. That's the insight of life coach Elizabeth Perry, who writes about the stages of life and what we can learn from them. Noting that there are many theories of human development, Perry focuses on the work of Erik Erikson, famous for defining these 8 stages of life: infancy, toddlerhood, preschool years, early school years, adolescence, young adulthood, middle adulthood, late adulthood. At each stage, there's a central conflict, a turning point, characterized by a struggle to achieve a core virtue, bringing on transition into the next stage. Let's walk through these phases of life with a fictional character we'll call Chan. Casting each virtue as a spiritual quality, we can think of this as a path of spiritual development. In infancy, ages 0 to 1, the conflict is trust versus mistrust, striving toward the virtue of hope. Chan receives sufficient care and is more likely to grow up, trusting that someone will help them in challenging situations, creating hope. In toddlerhood, ages 1 to 3, the conflict is autonomy versus shame and doubt, striving toward the virtue of will. Caregivers nurture autonomy by encouraging Chan's growing independence. If Chan is scolded for their curiosity or mocked for their efforts, insecurities may start to build. As confidence in body and mind grows, so does a sense of will. In preschool years, ages 3 to 6, the conflict is initiative versus guilt, striving toward the virtue of purpose. If initiatives are met with criticism, Chan may develop guilt over striking out on their own, demotivating further ambitions. Initiative that's encouraged can grow into a sense of purpose. In early school years, ages 7 to 11, the conflict is industry versus inferiority, striving toward the virtue of competence. With accomplishment and praise, Chan becomes industrious. In contrast, a lack of recognition can breed feelings of inferiority and failure. Feeling validated and supported helps cultivate competence. In adolescence, ages 12 to 18, the conflict is identity versus confusion, striving toward the virtue of fidelity. Self-discovery becomes all-consuming and often confusing as Chan looks ahead to their future roles in adulthood. As they yearn for peer acceptance, healthy support networks promote Chan's ability to form relationships with self and others with fidelity. In young adulthood, ages 18 to 40, the conflict is intimacy versus isolation, striving toward the virtue of love. Chan is building foundations needed for the rest of their life: social, professional, financial. An identity crisis may occur in the process, and yet learning from failures can also emerge. If Chan avoids intimacy due to fear of failure, disappointment, or commitment, they are likely to feel isolated. By establishing a solid social network, Chan feels understood and connected, increasing their capacity for love. We're in the home stretch, people. In middle adulthood, ages 40 to 65, the conflict is generativity versus stagnation, striving toward the virtue of care. Generativity means passing on what one has learned to younger generations. If Chan feels unhappiness and resentment about their life, they may choose to wallow in it and avoid contributing to society. Engaging as a productive member of the community cultivates the virtue of care. In late adulthood, ages 65 and older, the conflict is integrity versus despair, striving toward the virtue of wisdom. Deep reflection and introspection are hallmarks of this time. If Chan is haunted by regrets and failures, they may feel despair. In contrast, pride in the life they've led, a sense of integrity, engenders an experience of peace at the end of life with the virtue of wisdom. We made it. When applying Erikson's theory or any theory of human development, Perry reminds us that we are all individual humans with unique experiences, and the stages of life framework is simply meant to be a lens through which to see our lives. Hope, will, purpose, competence, fidelity, love, care, wisdom. These virtues seem like useful spiritual qualities to use as a lens for our lives. Now that we have a framework for the phases of life, let's turn to the subject of new beginnings. As Elizabeth Perry observes, quote, "A dramatic lifestyle change often characterizes the transition to a different stage of life. People often say that someone is entering a new stage of life when they move out of their home, graduate, retire, or have children." End quote. Here's an incomplete, unscientific list of new beginnings. Birth, first word, first steps, first day of school, first kiss, driver's license, graduating, starting a job, a new home, marriage, children, empty nest, retirement, a new diagnosis or surgery, mental and physical decline, death. Notice here, endings are also beginnings, a transition into something new, a graduation, a breakup, a move, a retirement, even death. That brings me to the topic of transitions. Change guru William Bridges makes a distinction between change and transition. He says change is situational, like those new beginnings that I just listed. Quoting Bridges, "Transition, on the other hand, is psychological. It is not those events, but rather the inner reorientation or self-redefinition that you have to go through in order to incorporate any of those changes into your life. Without a transition, a change is just a rearrangement of the furniture. Unless transition happens, the change won't work because it doesn't take." So among the synonyms for transitions, some, like passage or development, suggest a gentle, gradual change. Some, like leap or evolution, suggest a more powerful impact. Some, like metamorphosis or transmogrification, suggest a whammo life alteration. I was thrilled to see the word transmogrification, giving me a rare opportunity to reference the comic strip Calvin and Hobbes in a sermon. 6-year-old Calvin invented a transmogrifier from a cardboard box to transform into various creatures to escape everyday problems. For example, he turned himself into an elephant who never forgets so that he could ace his spelling test. Transmogrify, to transform in a surprising or magical manner. In my son Aaron's life, after a few harrowing years of mental health crises, the past 2 years have seemed like a transmogrification, nothing short of miraculous. It happened through his consistent life-giving actions, culminating recently in joining a band, getting his learner's permit, and moving out of our basement and into a condo. Calvin used his transmogrifier to escape the challenges of everyday childhood. Aaron's transmogrification leans into ownership of his life and its challenges of everyday adulthood. Maybe you've witnessed this kind of transformation in someone you love, and perhaps you've even experienced it in your own life. Adjusting to transition isn't always easy. We may find ourselves in nostalgia for the carefree days of our youth. It's easy to forget that youth had its own set of struggles. Think of Erikson's 8 stages, the conflicts at each stage. Think of Calvin using his transmogrifier to escape the challenges of childhood. Happy memories can be a harmless pleasure of life. In the extreme, however, longing for the past can become a heavy clay that binds our feet from action and our souls from growth. William Bridges says we resist transition not because we can't accept the change, but because we can't accept letting go of that piece of ourselves that we have to give up when and because the situation has changed. Clearing expert Stephanie Bennett Vogt offers a spiritual practice that could be adapted either as an actual ritual or as a thought experiment to letting go of nostalgia for the past. It might go something like this. Gather items that symbolize the phase you wish to release, or just call to mind that time of your life. Take a moment to center, perhaps light a candle or call on a higher power. Name the blessings of the past phase, listing the things you loved about that time. Thank those experiences for the joy they brought you. Now imagine letting them go. Allow yourself to feel any emotions that bubble up. As you release the past, imagine that you are making space for something new. Set the intention of staying open to what your new phase of life has to offer. That brings us to the present. Eckhart Tolle writes in his book, The Power of Now, unease, anxiety, tension, stress, worry, and all forms of fear are caused by too much future and not enough presence. Guilt, regret, resentment, grievances, sadness, bitterness, and all forms of non-forgiveness are caused by too much past and not enough presence. Aaron's inquiry then is how to stay focused on the present and enjoy where you're currently at. I have a few thoughts. First, an affirmation I find helpful is, I am here, I am now, I accept, I allow. Second, it may help to intentionally give awareness to the gifts of the present. Inventory the great things about your current circumstances and this phase of life. Third, I think that our agency plays a big role in our attitude. It's probably easier to love a transition in your life if you chose it. Yet even if the change wasn't your decision, you can still choose it. Embrace it and make it a new beginning. TinyBuddha.com offers these 10 paths to presence for living in the moment. 1, play. Go with the flow of life as it comes without judging. 2, perspective. Create moments in nature to reset your perspective. 3, pauses. Build pockets of nothing into your everyday. 4, poetry. Immerse yourself in the beauty of art, music, dance. 5, pleasure. Relentlessly pursue joy. 6, pen and paper. Journal about your everyday experiences. 7, pictures. Write down your dreams, and I would add, curate images that speak to you. 8, patterns. Notice patterns all around, in nature, in art, in life. 9, pathy, as in empathy. Any opportunity you have for real connection, use it. 10, ponder. Wonder, meditate, contemplate. Allow mystical experiences and enjoy inner peace. Eckhart Tolle advised us against too much past and too much future. He didn't say no past and no future. I think there needs to be a healthy balance between being present, learning from the past, and growing into the future. To avoid stagnation, we need a little bit of forward momentum. With this in mind, here's life coach Elizabeth Perry's advice on how to navigate and thrive through life's phases. Prepare yourself to take the lessons of one stage into the next so you can keep growing into a happier, better version of yourself as you progress through the stages of life. Some therapeutic tools she recommends for doing that include a self-discovery journey to understand your patterns and your priorities, inner child and shadow work, processing childhood trauma, and enlisting support of others as you commit to changes. These help you grow in respect for yourself and others, in compassion and in self-awareness, so that as your age increases, so does your maturity. This topic, phases of life, new beginnings, and life transitions, has certainly given me much to think about. I kid you not, I have 4 more sermons brewing from the grounds of this one. Thus, the end of this sermon is just the beginning of our exploration. For now, I end with the wisdom of Elizabeth Perry. Progressing through the stages of life can be challenging, but it's exciting because it gives us the opportunity to become our authentic selves. If you can learn how to navigate through the waves of change, you'll be grateful for all the chances life gives you to grow. May it be so, and amen. Please rise and body our spirit to join our voices in hymn 301, Touch the Earth, Reach the Sky. Go forth, learning from the past, living in the present, and growing into the future as you embrace the phases of life. Whether you develop, evolve, or transmogrify, allow each new beginning to transform you into your most authentic self. Go in peace and honor.
I really don't